Hey guys, it's Enigma Hood, and I'm going to be talking about the first game I ever owned. The first video game of any kind, or I should say the first computer game. And it's a game called Downland. This is the absolute first game I've ever owned or played in my life. We got this when I was just a little kid. I can't remember exactly how old I was like 3 or 4, and my father took us to Radio Shack in the mall. And I remember distinctly I wanted a remote-controlled car. You know, one of those cheapo remote-controlled cars that they sell at Radio Shack. And my father didn't get that. He got something else. He got the Color Computer 3. Oh, excuse me, Color Computer 2. And included in that was this game, Downland. And I remember thinking, I really wanted the remote-controlled car so badly. But he, convinced me that this was better. He was like, this is I don't know what he said, but, I think it was words to the effect of, this is even better than that. And I think I had a vague idea of what video games or computer games were. And so, because of that, I knew that they were fun. So I decided to go along with it. And ever since then, I guess my life has never been the same. Because I've been a fan of video games ever since. And, and this is Downland. I believe it was made in 1983. That was the year I was born. And, they made these games for this thing called the Tandy Color Computer 2. There was a Color Computer 1, 2, 3. 3 was the later model. It wasn't out at the time when we bought this. And it's not like the computers that we have today at all. It wasn't like a PC. It didn't have an operating system that I know of. You just kind of had to program your own shit, but you could insert cartridges, not even discs, but cartridges, similar to the ones that you would put inside of a Nintendo Entertainment System or something like that. And this game was one of the cartridges that we got. It was the only cartridge that we got at the time, the first one. And this game was hard as hell. I mean, this guy's kicking ass. He's already on the third chamber. And I've been talking this whole time about, the history and stuff like that. But, I remember when we first got this game, my sister and I played it to death, but we could not get past the first chamber, Chamber 0. And that's because it was hard as hell. We couldn't even figure out how to climb the rope. He's making it look so easy, this guy who's playing it. And he's kicking so much ass and beating it very quickly, but actually, it was you can't stand underneath the rope and just jump and then automatically climb it. No, it doesn't do that. You couldn't even stand underneath the rope and then jump and then push forward or push up on your joystick. And the joystick was already bad enough because it was really it was designed very weirdly, if that's even a fucking word. The design was strange because if you would tilt the control stick either left, right, or down, it would actually stay in those positions. It wouldn't auto center like a normal joystick would. So that made control of a platform game like this very, very difficult. And you can't climb the rope by just jumping right underneath the thing and pushing up on the control stick or on the joystick because he won't climb it. You have to take it from an angle, and it took us, I think, years of playing this game to figure that out. I don't know how old I was when I first got this thing. I must have been 3 or 4, because I remember we had it in our old apartment back in the old days, and I think I was around that age. But I'm not entirely certain. Now, not only is it hard to climb the fucking ropes, but those drops, they'll kill you in one hit. In just one hit. They're like acid drops or some shit. If you fall down from a great height, if it's too much, it'll kill you. So if you fall down at a great height, you'll die instantly. And if the timer runs out, then a bat from hell comes out and tries to kill you. We got really far, or at least I got really far in this game, but I never beat it. I think I got like to the 8th chamber. I think there's 9 chambers total, but the first chamber is chamber 0, so there's technically 10 chambers. Yeah, I think I got to the last chamber, the second to last chamber, but I never actually beat it. But there's nothing really special about beating it. Once you beat it, you just start over at the first chamber anyway. As you can see, the design of the game is pretty simple. You're just, it's very similar to Mario. In fact, the main character looks a lot like Mario. But this game came out before Super Mario Brothers ever was created. I don't know if this came out before Donkey Kong was released, and Donkey Kong was the first appearance of Mario, although he was called Jumpman in that game. This came out in '83, so maybe somebody can, clarify that. Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how hard this. But it was addictive, and look how much shit you have to go through in order to get through this game. You have to go into other chambers, but you have to also backtrack. You have to go to, if you're in chamber 6, you have to go back to another chamber, like maybe chamber 4 or some shit like that, and collect more keys and just explore the whole damn thing. And you have to hang off those fucking ropes. That's not easy, and it's you're dangling from the fucking thing. You think you're gonna die at any minute. And if you fall down too much, then you're killed instantly. And those fucking boulders, at the time we called them fireballs because you could have 2 different colors to this. Right now it's blue, but when we were playing it, everything was red, and so were those boulders. So we just called them fireballs. Bouncing boulders. Some kind of fucking bullshit. Man, it's funny, I remember my cousin from Canada actually came over, and we were playing this with there were 2 cousins, and we were playing this, and I got pretty far with them too, while they were here, and that was a pretty fun experience, playing Downland on the color computer, Tandy color computer too. Oh man, that really brings me back. Just seeing this game is just a nostalgic trip. And I maybe one day I'll show you guys, the color computer if I can find it. I don't know if we still have it. I know we at least still have the games and stuff, the cartridges. I know that we have those, but I couldn't actually find the computer unit itself. It's this really, you hooked it up to your television, it didn't come with a monitor. And even though the graphics look like shit by today's standards, obviously, you gotta realize that before this, it came out in 1983, most of the crap that was around that time was either in black and white, or it didn't have graphics at all. So, for the time, it was actually pretty impressive. To put into perspective how old this game is, I was playing this game before my fiance was even born. Oh man, this is such an old school game. But it's pretty cool, I guess. I mean, this guy, he goes through, it's split up into 2 sections, 2 videos, but I'm only gonna show the first one because, it's not a hell of a lot to look at, I guess. I mean, it's only cool for me because, I played this when I was a kid. Nostalgic value apparently is very, very powerful, things can, you have a different outlook on life, on video games, when you see it again when you grow up and you just look back. This guy, the guy who made this game, it was one guy, and I tried to look him up online, and I know that he exists though, because he sent an email to the guy, a guy who runs a website about these old Tandy color computer games, and talked about it briefly. I tried to email him But I don't know, he never responded. I just wanted to say, you know, hey, I grew up playing your fucking game. Why did you make it so damn hard? You know, he said that he acknowledges the fact that the main character looks a lot like Mario, but he was not directly influenced by him, so perhaps it was just a coincidence. I believe he wanted to call this Cavern Climber, but had to call it Downland instead because the name was too similar to another Tandy Color computer game. You know, Tandy Color computers, they were just being made. They were being sold exclusively at Radio Shack. You know, Radio Shack's thing was the Tandy Color computer. It never became nearly as popular as like the Amigas or the Commodores or, of course, the IBMs or Apple or whatever. You know, those are the ones that survived. But it's just like another relic, another historical thing in computer history. And I guess that's it. Anyway, I hope that was interesting to watch. I'm going to make more of these videos of these old video games that I grew up with. So, that's it. This is Enigma Hood signing off.